welcome to 5 Round MMA, podcast number 18. On this edition of 5 Round MMA, we honor March Madness and create our own version of the NCAA tournament and break down our own brackets for each weight division. We also take a look back at the World Series of Fighting and have a Bellator news roundup. Please welcome Alex Ramirez and Albert Cita.
Thank you very much, our producer Guillermo Cita, for the introduction. March Madness is underway, right, Albert?
Yeah, too bad I don't know any of the 64 teams. I was looking for Cal State Northridge because I could have sworn they were on there a couple of years ago. No,
I don't know. Were they? Anyways, but yeah. So in order of that, we have a little bracket. We have a little fun this week since it's kind of downtime in the world of MMA. So we have that coming up. But for right now, we have the latest news and headlines. What do you got, Guillermo?
Headlining Rashad Evans versus Dan Henderson at UFC 161.
Yeah, this is rumored for a while. I guess now it's official, right?
Yeah.
Hendo and Rashad Evans. I think it's kind of dangerous for Rashad, actually.
No, I love it because Dan Henderson's going to give him his walking papers. And I'm going to see
walking papers.
And I'm going to see another knockout. Rashad Evans going to do the stinky leg part 2.
Yeah, maybe all those Jocko commercials last night in the World Series of Fighting was a preview for Rashad Evans making his big debut after he gets fired from UFC, maybe, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, Rashad, see if they could both bounce back after a loss. What else is next?
Martin Kamen wants to fight with Nick Diaz.
Who doesn't want to fight Nick Diaz right now?
I 100% agree with that. He will stand up with them, too, so he has nothing to cry about. So that's a perfect matchup.
Yeah, one thing Martin Kamen does always brings in is never shy from a fight. I think Nick Diaz has a big old target on his head now. So.
Yeah, I like it. I like that matchup.
It won't be a main event fight, but it'd be on pay-per-view. It won't be a main event. Maybe on Fuel FX or Fox Sports, it'd be a main event, but it's not really headlining pay-per-view caliber. I don't think so, anyways.
So then, we'll keep it with Nick Diaz. He recorded a secret meeting on a weight loophole.
Yeah,
supposed GSP.
I saw that they're going to allow because you have to be at 170 exactly. But in the secret meeting, they said, oh, you can be 0.5, 0.9 over as long as you don't exceed a whole pound.
GSP could have.
No, both of them.
Both of them? Okay.
Yeah, but they didn't tell Nick Diaz until like the day before. And in the video, he's saying like, oh, why don't you guys tell me? This would have made a big difference. And so basically what they were saying was if he came in at 170.5, 170.2, it'll still be 170. And usually it has to be 170 even to make make a championship fight.
And like this is cool with the Montreal's athletic commission.
I think Montreal was the one
Canada
was the one that proposed this to the UFC. The UFC then told the fighters.
They need to get GSP out of Canada for like the next couple of fights, I think. All these fights are in Canada
now. It's kind of hard with those ratings and selling out.
Whatever. Home field advantage all the time for GSP, I guess. What else you got, Guillermo?
I got Dan Hardy out versus Matt Brown thanks to a wolf heart.
All right.
A what?
For people that don't know what wolf heart.
He ate a wolf heart? Is that what happened?
He has an irregular beat. I mean, I guess his heart beats twice as much or something like that. Okay. And the California Commission said, you know what, you can't fight because of that. And Dan Hardy actually went on a tweet rant, spinning off into something positive. I'm not quite sure what to make out of this other than let him fight, dog. He's breathing faster. It's okay.
It's his heart, more blood pumping, right?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it was like that was on the main card for the Fox card while Chad Mendes was the main event for the FX. Hopefully now they could bump up Mendes to the Fox card and Matt Brown, who's going to fight now?
Yeah, because Matt Brown's going to fight that newcomer from the last event.
He just fought recently, yeah. So hopefully that gets bumped down because Chad Mendes deserves to be on the main card of whatever card UFC's having, not main event of FX, I think. But Dan Hardy, I guess, not really a speedy recovery. Just
he's a quick kicking in with those wolves, I guess. He's kicking in with them wolves.
Is that it for latest news and headline?
No, I got one more.
One more, all right.
I don't know if you guys saw yesterday, Steve Swanson lost in a triangle at the last round.
That was his first loss, right?
His first loss.
His little brother to Cub Swanson.
Yeah, it was a back and forth. Well, not back and forth, but it was Cub Swanson showed what's up, and he got caught in that triangle.
Yeah, Swanson family.
Steve Swanson.
Swanson, part of the Swanson fighting family. Was that it?
Yep, that's it for today.
All right, so stick around. We'll have a little fun with MMA Bracketology. Stick around, guys. All right, everybody. If you like what you hear out there and want to hear more of it, make sure to follow us on Twitter at 5RoundMMA and always check out the website, 5RoundMMA.com. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by SportsSceneTV.net. Get all your prep school sports information at SportsSceneTV.net. 5RoundMMA is brought to you by True Athletes Training Systems. Unlock your inner athlete at TrueAthletes.com.
March Madness has come to the UFC. Now 5 Round MMA will do a a tournament style of similar to March Madness. We'll do each weight class, and then at the end, we'll have 4 winners from each weight class hit the pound-for-pound tournament, and this will declare our pound-for-pound greatest UFC fighter.
Ever or just recently?
Recently.
Okay. I didn't see Ken Shamrock or Dan Severn or Royce Gracie on this bracket. I was told to pick from recent fighters, so I did.
So we're going to start off with the heavyweight division.
And now this is just a vote. We all voted on it.
And these seedings are coming from the UFC.com directly, right? Okay, so number 1, Cain Velasquez.
Yes, so and then number 2, JDS.
Yeah. So if you guys see on the screen up here, we got Cain Velasquez versus Pat Barry.
And we'll have four winners out of this division that will advance to the pound-for-pound. So we won't square everybody off for like a heavyweight final. We'll leave that for the pound-for-pound.
Okay, good. Works for me.
Cool. So we got Cain Velasquez versus Pat Barry. This is what we call a squash match. So
squash match.
I don't think
you don't believe in Cinderella stories. Is that what March Madness is all about? Pat Barry can't upset Cain Velasquez.
Ollie the trolley. Let's see if we got a Cinderella story. No.
Number 1 prevents.
We all voted Cain Velasquez will clearly win that fight. All right, let's go on to the next one. All right, we got Roy Nelson versus Mark the Super Saiyan Hunt.
So 8 and 9 should be even matchup, right?
Yeah, so this technically should be a coin flip, but I don't think so. But
coin flip.
Let's see what we had.
Mark Hunt.
Mark Hunt.
He's on a roll recently.
Yep. And he's on a roll in 5-round MMA.
Yeah.
All right, next one. All right, we got Alistair Overeem versus Shane Carwin, number 6
11.
versus number 11. All right, what do we got?
Alistair Overeem.
Yeah, he's coming.
Hot hands.
Yeah, Shane Carwin's coming off an injury. I cannot disagree with that.
Yep.
Let's go on next one. We got Daniel Cormier, number 4. Number 13.
What's he's like from Cleveland, isn't he?
This is actually, I actually
with
like
that
this
name.
matchup.
He's from Croatia, but he's like from Cleveland or something.
Steve, Daniel is a wrestler. Step or whatever his name is, is a stand-up fighter. So it should actually be a pretty good match. So who do we got?
Daniel Cormier, of course.
Yeah,
of course, because wrestling will dominate. So next one. Fabricio Verdun, number 3, my boy, the Duff Man.
So is this where the Cinderella story comes?
Yeah, the Cinderella story has hit.
Number 14. So if you love the Cinderella story, I think we're going to see it.
I don't think so. What? Oh my God.
Keep in mind, this
was consensus.
This was not one vote. This was a consensus in their whole staff.
Todd Duffy.
So Todd Duffy wins that one.
The Duff Man.
The Duff Man. I saw it coming. Next one. Got Frank Mir, number 5 versus Chet Conklin, number 12.
Frank Mir already beat Chet.
Yeah, they fought before.
This, so this shouldn't be a surprise. So what do we got? Frank Mir.
Frank Mir, wow.
Just like he did before.
Back on the win streak.
Next. We got number 7, Antonio Urrego Noguera versus number 10, Stefan Struve, Mr. Broken Jaw himself. Will his jaw be re-broken all over? Yes, it will.
Or he'll get his arm broken.
Yeah, or arm broken.
Knowing Noguera.
Next one. We got JDS, number 2 versus Travis Brown, number 15.
This should be the squash match, right?
This should be a squash match right here. And we all voted squash match. All right, next.
Round 2 is where it gets interesting.
Round 2. Oh, man. I don't even want to call this one. Cain Velasquez versus Mark Hunt. This is what I don't want to see in real life because I know Cain Velasquez is going to win, and I want my boy Mark Hunt to live forever. So
the more diverse striking of Cain Velasquez and wrestling game should be able to overcome Mark Hunt, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see what we all voted for.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Cain Velasquez. I ain't mad at that. Next one. No, over in Daniel Cormier. Woo! The matchup we should have saw in Strikeforce, but we didn't.
Dangerous striker, dangerous ground and pound. Can he close the distance enough, you think?
I think he's going to close the distance. Let's see what we got.
Takedown? Oh, yeah, closes distance. Ground and pound wins.
All right, let's go to the next one. All right, Frank Mir versus Todd Duffy, number 5 versus number 14. I still think the Cinderella story should keep on winning. I have no idea why anybody will vote for Frank Mir.
Number 14,
Frank Mir is a jiu-jitsu guy. Todd Duffy's a stand-up guy, and he's not going to take him down. It should be a knockout. So
usually in March Madness, doesn't a 12 always upset number 5 the first round?
Yeah.
So this could be it right here. 14
so
against 5. Oh, Frank Mir.
Horrible. Obviously, our staff isn't educated enough to see that one. But let's go to the next one.
All.
JDS versus Noguera.
Now this will obviously won't happen in real life.
This will never happen because they train partners. So
right here, so
theoretically, number 2 versus number 7. What do we got? JDS, no brainer. All right, and that leaves all 4, right, Guillermo?
Yeah, that leaves all 4.
Final
so
4.
These 4 will advance to our pound-for-pound bracketology.
All right, so stick around. We're going to bring you up the flyweights next.
Now we're going to go over the flyweights. But you brought up an interesting point. There was someone left out of the heavyweight tournament.
Which I have no disagreement that they should have been left out, and that's Bigfoot Silva. So everybody was, if they were keeping track,
right now.
he's the number one contender, but I don't think he deserves to be in our brackets here.
Fantasy bracket.
No.
He doesn't deserve to be in our fantasy bracket.
He would have easily lost in the first round, and I think we should have put in those Cinderella stories in there instead of him.
So basically, less Bigfoot, more Todd Duffy. Right?
Exactly. What you want? That's exactly what I was trying to get at.
Okay, now time for the flyweights, but there's a couple buys.
Just because there's not enough flyweights.
There's not enough UFC flyweights at the moment. So.
Yeah. So the first one, Demetrius Johnson gets a bye.
Number one.
This is going to be a tough matchup. I see Demetrius Johnson coming up, so let's see. Oh yeah.
Shadow boxing with himself.
Next one. We got number 8 Chris and number 9 Darren. This is actually a pretty good matchup, and you can literally flip a coin, and I don't think you'll be wrong. So let's see what coin flip we got. Yep, Darren, number 9.
Upset. Well, yeah.
Not an upset. It could go either way.
Yeah.
So next one.
Justin Formier and Tim Elliott.
Number 6 versus number 11. What do we got? Number 6.
Yeah.
Yep. Next. Ian McCall versus his shadow.
Who's this bye guy? This bye guy must be pretty good.
So what do we got? Ian McCall. Then got next. John Dudson gets a bye.
Bye comes back in the tournament again.
If anything, this shows an example that UFC really needs to kick up that flyweights and actually start broadcasting them and stop leaving them on the Facebook fights.
Yeah, I mean, how many times has Mighty Mouse defended his title on free TV again?
So go ahead and hit it. Of course. Next one. We got John Moraga, number 5, and Phil Harris. John Moraga is actually going to fight for the belt as soon as Demetrius Johnson heals up. So let's see what we voted for.
He's my sleeper in this tournament, by the way.
John Moraga?
Yeah.
Number 5. Oh, okay.
Very good.
So go next one. We got Tough Enough Finale, number 7, Luis, and number 10, John.
John Lincoln.
Yeah. I say all green. Yep. Number 7. It is March. It is March.
I'm going to vote for that guy.
Next one. Joseph Benavidez against Mr. By himself again. It should be a no-brainer. Joseph Benavidez.
What do you know?
All right, next one. Demetrius Johnson versus Darren. This is a possible matchup later on, after John Moraga. So we'll see. What do we vote for?
But for right now, Mighty Mouse wins.
Yep. Next one. Ian McCall versus Jusu. I see Ian McCall winning this one.
Yeah.
Next one. Ian McCall, of course. I think we're going to see all the top 4. John Johnson versus John Moraga.
This one should be, I think.
Yeah, I think it would have been a split. I hope we voted for John Moraga.
Let's see what our staff voted.
Of course. Ollie the Trolley, always YouTubing. I know that he was the deciding factor.
And he's a big Pop Rocks fan.
Yeah, Pop Rocks fan. Next one. This one should be a no-brainer. Joseph Benavidez should easily win this one. Yep. Yeah. All right, next round.
That's it.
That's it. That's the top 4 right there.
That's the top 4 for the flyweights, the top 4 for the heavyweights that advance to the pound-for-pound tournament.
So stay tuned. Visit the website so you can get updates on the brackets. We'll try to finish it before March is over. So keep trying.
We're counting down. Cutting it pretty close.
Yeah, we're cutting it pretty close. But continue logging on to FiveRoundMMA.com. Checking out the updates. If you guys disagree with our staff picks, go ahead and email us. Send us your picks.
If you have your own brackets, let us know.
We'll be more than happy to show your guys's. Go ahead and email us at FiveRoundMMA@gmail.com. With that said, we got some World Series to talk about in Bellator coming up.
Stick around. All right, everybody. If you like what you hear out there and want to hear more of it, make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA, and always check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com. 5-Round MMA is brought to you by SportsSceneTV.net. Get all your prep school sports information at SportsSceneTV.net. 5-Round MMA is brought to you by True Athletes Training Systems. Unlock your inner athlete at TrueAthletes.com.
It seems like everybody's getting their jaws broken these days. Now it's time for the World Series of Fighting and Bellator Roundup.
Shout out Andre Arlovski. This past weekend, World Series of Fighting had their second event on NBC Sports Network, which is headlined by Andre Arlovski and Anthony Rebel Johnson in a heavyweight bout that was at times sluggish, at times exciting, but sometimes it had my head just shaking most of the time. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, it was entertaining. After that first round, Arlovski took a beating the last 10 seconds and apparently broke his jaw.
Wow.
And I kid you not, every single punch Rumble Johnson threw, I thought it was knockout. And then all of a sudden, Andre Arlovski would throw one, and then I thought, oh, Rommel Johnson's going to get knocked out. But then they would both, like, rock each other, so one couldn't finish the other. So it was pretty entertaining. I'm pretty sure Dana White was begging he had this on UFC because he likes that type of fighting. I personally was – I mean, it was entertaining. But it was nowhere up there in the technical caliber. Do you think Andre Arlovski even had a game plan going in?
I don't think so. I think he was really surprised. Like, honestly, I think after he like, oh, man, I'm taking these punches. Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah. I think he just saw that, I'm fighting a 170. I'm just going to punk this fool.
Which is funny because he's with Greg Jackson. He's been with Greg Jackson, and, like, a lack of game plan just really just, like, bewilders me.
And those spinning back kicks, I mean, those are mind-blowing right there.
Yeah, so Andre Arlovski has a name, but obviously his career is kind of on the down end now. So what do you think? One more fight? He's 19-10 right now.
Arlovski literally has one fight left in him, especially if it's going to be a knockout loss.
Yeah.
Then that's it. If he wins, he has to win by knockout if he wants to keep on fighting, and we'll take it 5-by-5 basis. But I only see one more in him.
Yeah. And Anthony Rumble Johnson gets a lot of flack for his weight issues. He's fought in welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, and now heavyweight, but he seems to kind of have success a little bit.
Yeah, he says he's going to stick to light heavyweight unless they ask him again to fight heavyweight because there's nobody else to fight.
Yeah, but I mean, he's 6'2", has a solid frame. He obviously has a skill set, but like he's almost like a budding joke now in the MMA. He's too fat Johnson. So like
Fat Johnson.
Yeah, I think if he sticks at light heavyweight and gets off a solid number of victories, he could be taken seriously again in the MMA world. But we'll see.
I think his goal is just to make it back into that UFC card. And so I'm pretty sure he's 2 wins away from doing it at the light heavyweight division.
Yeah.
So he needs to really stick to that division.
Yeah. And also, Bellator actually finished their lightweight season tournament from last season because one of the competitors wasn't 21.
They couldn't fight at the casino.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because Dave Jansen ended up winning anyway, so they could have done the fight either way. So now Dave Jansen has won the honor of facing Michael Chandler.
I wouldn't say honor. I mean, good luck.
Yeah.
Hope he got it in him.
And also this week coming up, actually a really big card, I think, for Bellator. The lightweight tournament and light heavyweight tournament, which I think, other than David Rickels, Saad Awad, it was a big surprise. Emmanuel Newton and Mikhail Zayats in the light heavyweight tournament were super surprised.
Super surprised, yeah.
They both, Emmanuel Newton knocked out King Mo, and Mikhail knocked out Babalu. So these are two guys who were really kind of, I think, maybe throw-ins in the tournament to make King Mo and Babalu shine. And look, the guys are in the finals now. So
yeah, I think the best thing that can happen is Emmanuel Newton winning, not only winning the tournament, but winning the belt. That way they can bring King Mo back into the tournament and also justify the whole reason that, okay, he lost to the previous champion. Yeah, and if he does make it to the finals and wins, you got another. He wants to fight for the guy that beat him. So
yeah, it should be an interesting fight of Bellator as always. Saad Awad, David Rickels, I think they both promised to bang, and obviously Emmanuel Newton and Mikhail Zayats, another Russian in Bellator, having super success.
They got the best Russians in MMA
pick them out well, so it should be an entertaining card. And I think that's it for today, right, guys?
Well, before we take off, we did want to mention Michael Page.
He made his debut this past Thursday.
Young fighter. He's undefeated. He has, 2-3 fights. But his style is like...
It's a point fighting system.
Yeah. His attack is guardless. So he wants you to come in, and then he attacks. But he keeps both hands down. It's so weird, but...
If you check out the highlights from this past...
Go to Bellator.com and check out the highlights.
Page,
it was... mind-blowing the way he fought.
Yeah, from the way they said they want to get him right back in the cage again. This is
he didn't take absolutely no damage. I think he literally took, he threw one punch and that was game.
Nothing, he broke a sweat. So just keep an eye out for Michael Page, hopefully the next welterweight tournament. But that's it for this week. Make sure you guys check it back next week. We'll have a full preview of UFC on Fuel Gustafsson versus Musashi, the card in Sweden. And we'll also continue our bracketology special, break down all the different weight classes and stuff like that. So make sure to follow us on Twitter at FiveRoundMMA, subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube, and always check out the website, FiveRoundMMA.com. Albert, you got some parting words?
Just want to say thank you to everyone that saw the last podcast, and thanks everyone for listening and subscribing to iTunes. I also like to thank our executive producer, Anthony Soriana, our producer, Guillermo Cita, our sound engineer, Ollie the Trolley, and our technician, The Game.
That's Big Game.
The big game. The big game. So thanks, everybody, for listening.